Again, welcome to the world of new thought, ancient wisdom, and we're talking today about prayer. We're talking today about answered prayer, to be more specific. It's not just prayer is not just this mysterious gift reserved for the spiritually elite. It's prayer, and the answering of a prayer is a natural outpicturing of a sense of inner alignment, pure desire, and truth. So that's what we're talking about today. What is answered prayer and what it's not, how to align with prayer vibrationally, and why celebration of prayer as a spiritual practice is I was going to say important, so important, and great, fabulous, and fun. And what to do when the answered prayer doesn't look exactly as you expected. So, welcome. Today, New Thought Tuesdays. As you may know, New Thought Tuesdays is when Rich Smith and I do these remarks at the beginning at 10 a.m. LA time, 1 p.m. New York time, 6 p.m. London time, 11:30 p.m. in India. We do this every week. We do these opening remarks having to do with New Thought, Ancient Wisdom teachings. And then after these remarks, we go into a private session called the Inner Circle on Zoom and discuss these ideas with a membership group where we dive even more deeply, more sweetly, and confidentially. If you want to learn more about New Thought Tuesdays, go to newthoughttuesdays.com and click on the links. I'll give you all the information that you need to know, including we'll be glad to send you a gentle reminder email before New Thought Tuesdays. And of course, if you're a member of New Thought Tuesdays, you get more information from us. So, answered prayer. Well, first off, answered prayer, what is it? Prayer is a human's divine desire to experience and express something that is expressed through a truthful, loving desire. Now, that wasn't Ernest Holmes' definition. That was really Dean Regan's definition. And that this truthful, loving desire, which is consistently vibrated, then comes into the person's experience. That's an answered prayer. When that which you have been gently, specifically, prayerfully identifying comes into your experience, that's an answered prayer. Now, you can do it with formal prayer, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name kind of prayer. Or in Science of Mind, we've got 5-step spiritual mind treatment, which basically brings you through some steps and feeling tones that really radiate and vibrate with prayer. Or it can be a beseeching prayer. God, help me, I need this. These are any numbers of prayers, types of prayers that come and can be answered. The clear thing that we're focusing on today, and by the way, Rich says hello. The clear thing that we're focusing on today is paying attention to the prayer that you are putting out into the universe. I'm going to call God the universe today. Universe seems to work for me with this. That idea that you're putting out into the universe that is responded to by the universe. That's answered prayer. It does not always appear as 1 + 1 = 2, and I got exactly what I went out for. It often can be enhanced by that higher power that is you, expressing that even greater divine desire. Answered prayer is pretty much how we live our lives, is an answer to our prayer. If we've been praying in terms of positive, aligned, abundant, loving, we're going to experience positive, alive, aligned, loving, and abundant experience in life. If we're focused on not positive, not aligned, not abundant, that's what comes into our life. So that's actually kind of a prayer as well. That which you're focusing on comes into your life. So right now, as you're sitting here watching on whatever device you're watching on, your prayers have been answered. Look around you. This is what you've been praying for. Good news is, this is what you've been praying for, and it's here. Perhaps the not so good news is, this is what you've been praying for. It's not what you want, and it's here. What you're praying for and how you pray for it and the vibrational match. Vibrational is kind of more of an Abraham Hicks concept than New Thought, Ernest Holmes concept. But as you are focused on that which you're wanting, truly that which you're wanting is coming your way. And you may say, no, I didn't pray for this to happen. There's something about everything we put into the universe that comes back to us. That's something about, has to do with the principles of how prayer works. So we're talking about answered prayer today. And the first thing I'm starting off with is recognizing that your answered prayer is all around you. Take a look. Take a look in the mirror. Take a look at your relationships. These are answered prayers. The key thing about answered prayer is to really celebrate it. I found that many years ago, I was much more into praying and moving on, praying and moving on, praying and moving on, praying and moving on. Accepting and almost taking for granted my answered prayers. Can you relate with that at all? I would not acknowledge that my prayers were answered. I would not celebrate that my prayers were answered. I would just move on to the next thing I wanted. What I've learned in my ancient wisdom is the idea of celebrating, doing that happy dance. Whenever you experience even the slightest aspect of your prayer coming into your life, even the slightest aspect of your prayer coming into your life brings a celebration of authentic joy. It's through that celebrating of authentic joy that two things have happened. I've become more aware that my prayers are actually being answered, and it brings me more answered prayer. It also encourages me to pray for myself and others with a sense of trust and belief that is absolutely uplifting and spiritually astounding to me. The idea of praying, yes, you can pray for your Maserati or what have you. You can pray for an it, and it can come into your life. But if you bring it into your life with that sense of, okay, got it, let's move on, as opposed to welcome into my life. Yes, you, Maserati, were a divine desire that I had, or you paying my rent easily and effortlessly every month, or you paying my mortgage and having it more than paid and keeping a mortgage just so I can have a tax deduction and work in that sphere even better. This sense of allowing yourself to welcome your answered prayer into your life. Even as I'm talking about it, it brings great delight to me. So we're talking about today the idea of bringing a sense of delight into your prayers. The moment you ask, it's given. It's completely possible the moment you ask. Our responsibility is to get into alignment with it, to welcome it, to celebrate it, to love it, and to be loving. Prayer brings this energetic and vibrational match. And okay, answered prayer is a vibrational match to what you've put out there into the universe. And let's talk about vibration. Sometimes for me, it's easiest to talk about vibration in terms of extremes. So if you can picture a time in your life where you were remarkably happy, buoyant, exuberant, joyful, relieved, excited. There was a feeling tone that was going on in you that, yes, as a human being, you could psychologically feel it. I feel X, Y, or Z. And there is also this feeling tone that I feel like is a vibration. That it's just like I am walking on sunshine. I am skipping and jumping. This is, yes, it's a human expression of joy. But the condition it celebrates is a vibrational match to joy. You're experiencing joy, and that vibration which you are feeling is in alignment with joy. Now, let's take it the other direction. Perhaps a time when you were feeling lower than a snake's belly in a wagon rut, that you were deeply sad. Perhaps there was grief, despair, doubt, perhaps anger. That too is a vibrational expression. You're having an experience of depression or anger. And there is a vibrational match. You've got a human experience that you're having, and there's a vibration that you're creating. So, and again, recognizing I'm using extremes here, extreme joy and extreme not joy. That's where I talk in terms of vibrational match. When you pray, how are you feeling in alignment with that which you're praying about? However it is you pray, even if it is not a formal prayer, it's just the way you think in life, and you feel the thoughts and the feelings you put behind that thinking. This is what brings in answered prayer. Sometimes in this answered prayer, the idea that Rich and I are talking about this week is the idea to celebrate it. Again, happy dance it. A lot of folks will say, okay, let's just make it easy again. I want $1 million. And you get $999,999.99. But Dean, that's not $1 million. I was praying for $1 million. The first penny you get toward that $1 million is a reason for celebration of answered prayer. The reason for that is you're then vibrating in alignment with joy about, hey, I've got 1 penny. I was just talking about finding change and sometimes not change in the laundry with a client of mine. And hey, look at, I left that in my pocket. Look at what I've got. That sense of joy. Every step of the way of your prayer, keep your intention in mind and your prayer in mind. And every step of the way, bring your celebration. Celebrate as if it's here now. this first penny, this first dime, this first dollar, this first relationship, this first touch, this first opportunity, this first advancement at work, this first whatever it is, celebrate it. Celebrate it as part of that answered prayer, and be aware. At the end of my prayers, I tend to say this or something even greater. Be open to, welcoming that which you have a divine desire for, and that which is even greater. Act as if, speak as if, feel as if that prayer is answered. Gratitude creates a cause. It's not just a response. Then one thing I wanted to say, what if people say, well, I didn't get what I was asking for. It's kind of an answered prayer, but not really. Take a look at what you experienced, identify what your prayer was. Get clear about what your specifics were, not outlining it must be this, it must be that, it must be that. That's outlining. You want to welcome it. Welcome that feeling of possibility and joy, this or something greater. And then as it comes in, identify and celebrate it. If that which comes in is not related and is not what you're wanting, then I would go back to the source and pray anew. Because you might be batting your prayer off base by your own human thinking. Prayer responds to consistent human feeling and human thinking, mainly to the feeling, because the thinking is articulated in a certain way. The feeling is much more in alignment with that specific opportunity and power in the universe. So when it's different than what is expected, be open that it might be even better, greater than what you were expecting, or be open to that you may have been batting your prayer off base by focusing on that which you don't want. With prayer, we must focus on that which we are wanting and be prepared to receive it. That's really the final part. Asking requires that we be available to receive. If you ask for all kind of trick-or-treaters to come to your door on Halloween, and then you turn off all your lights, you shut your door and you lock it, it doesn't matter how many trick-or-treaters come to your door, you're not going to have that connection with them. And sometimes we do that with prayer. Anyway, thanks for joining us today. I'm going to go into the inner circle. We got folks waiting in the inner circle to talk about this. Again, if you want to know more about New Thought Tuesdays, Rich and I would welcome to get to know you and help you and be with you and celebrate your spiritual practice and be of any assistance that we can. Go to newthoughttuesdays.com, and I'm going to stop the live stream and we're going to go into New Thought Tuesdays.